It's Hyp3r Halloween! Rounding out this year's creature feature category is 2008's Splinter. It revolves around a giant rat that lives in the sewer and trains 4 mutant turtles in the way of ninjutsu. Okay, I just wanted to make sure you were paying attention. Splinter is actually about a strange parasitic fungus creature that takes over its victim completely, controlling their body in the process. It was directed by Toby Wilkins and stars Jill Wagner, Paulo Costanzo, Shea Wiggum, and Rachel Curbs. The plot of Splinter is pretty simple. Our 4 main characters are targeted and trapped by the parasite I mentioned. The movie starts out with a creature infected with the parasite attacking a gas station attendant. We then meet Seth and Polly, a young couple that is celebrating an anniversary. They plan on spending their anniversary by camping in the woods, but something happens. Seth can't pitch the tent. Frustrated by their lack of ability to set up camp, they leave for a hotel. As they drive through the woods, they are eventually carjacked by 2 criminals, Denny and Lacey. Denny holds them up at gunpoint and demands that they drive them to where they need to go. Lacey is a tweaker that is jonesing for a fix, and Denny is a convict and a former drug addict. Both are running from the law, and the reason for that is revealed later in the movie. The group drives till nightfall, and they accidentally run over a small critter. Lacey thinks that it was her dog that they ran over, even though her dog died weeks ago. The group also gets a flat tire due to the critter as well. You see, the animal has these small spikes, or splinters, sprouting out of it. Denny pricks his fingers on one of the splinters from the tire, and the animal that they ran over lunges at them to attack them. The group rides off after this strange altercation, and shortly after, their car overheats. The group finds the gas station from the beginning of the movie. No one seems to be around though. Denny and Polly go into the store while Seth pumps gas and Lacey heads off to the restroom. The restroom door absolutely refuses to budge at first, but when Lacey gets it open, she discovers the gas station attendant from the beginning of the movie. Unfortunately, he's now covered in splinters or spikes, the same ones that were coming out of the animal that they ran over. The attendant asks Lacey to kill him, but it seems like he's already long gone. The attendant then begins to contort and go after Lacey. The attendant catches up and kills Lacey. It then appears to lunge at Seth, but plops on the car instead. Seth runs inside with the others, and they watch as it appears that Lacey is still alive because her body's twitching. Denny goes out to check on her, but her body starts to contort, much like the gas station attendants did. The group gets Denny in, and part of Lacey's hand is chopped off as they close the door on it. Lacey's hand then goes after the group, showing us that this parasite can control every part of the host. The rest of the movie is spent with the 3 trying to escape the gas station without being killed by the Splinter parasite. I'd hate to go through the rest of the movie scenes, scene by scene, because I just don't want to do it injustice. The rest of the movie is pretty action-packed in my opinion, and I don't want to oversell it or undersell it in case anyone is actually interested in checking it out. I would, however, like to talk about the creature a bit. The Splinter parasite is definitely an interesting creature. It's described as a mold or fungus, but it's also parasitic in nature. It gets inside of its victim and it consumes them from the inside. The viewer sees this as a slow process depending on how it enters the body. The parasite moves slowly through the body if a limb is hit by it, a la the infection in Denny's finger, or fast if it's able to overpower its victim. The parasite can also control live victims' limbs, like when it spreads further up Denny's hand. It bends Denny's finger in ways that a finger shouldn't bend. It's not necessarily a smart creature though, and it's just driven by the insatiable appetite of anything with a pulse. In fact, it tracks things via instinct and body temperature, which is why one of the creatures plops on the overheated car. One cool thing the Splinter parasite does is it adds more and more body parts to it, creating this monstrosity in the process. Like I said though, its main drive is feeding and surviving. So, I'll be completely honest with everyone. I went into Splinter with low expectations and left very impressed. The film features minimal to no CGI. The way that people infected with the Splinter parasite move and contort was actually achieved through the use of contortionists. The only negative thing I had to say about this movie is the character development. While the 3 main characters do get their fair share of development, it seems a little off. Like, we're supposed to believe a violent drug-addicted criminal was actually stealing money for a good cause. I mean, I like Danny as a character, but I don't know, it just seems a little far-fetched. Regardless, if you're looking for a surprisingly good low-budget horror film with a unique monster, then I'd highly recommend Splinter.